Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me on this exciting new video. I'm going to be showing you how I made this pair of pants right here. They're made of leather, but you can make it like literally out of anything. I just don't have anything leather, so I wanted that. And I'm not sure if it's like real leather or fake leather. I just asked for leather at the fabric shop and they gave me leather, so I hope it's not real, but yeah. Anyway, this is the pattern making, the pattern drafting video. So you can use this pattern for literally any pants you want to make. You can make it out of a chiffony sort of fabric. You can make it out of a cottony fabric. You can make it out of a tweed fabric. You know, you can make it out of anything. So that's why I'm going to be separating this into two videos. This is going to be the pattern drafting. So this, you're going to use it for literally anything. And the next video is going to be me actually making these pants. And oh my god, do you see this? Do you see this? I'm proud of myself, child. I am proud of myself. Anyway, I hope you guys are as excited as me to make this pattern and expand on your pattern file. I have like a file that's like filled with all my folded patterns and whatever. I hope you're as excited as me to expand your sewing skills, expand your pattern making skills, expand everything. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Ooh.
So first thing we're going to do is draw a line on our pattern paper, on our newspaper, craft paper, whatever paper you use. This line is going to be in line with the belly button as well as the top of the pattern. This you're going to measure from your belly button and down all the way to your ankles. Mine was around 100 centimeters. So from the top of the line you drew, go down the distance you just measured, whether it's 100, whether it's 96, whatever. Just draw it down and connect those lines together. And be sure to mark both lines just for your convenience. Now it is time to whip out your measuring tape and measure your hip measurements. This is going to be the bottommost part of your bum. We are going to take this measurement and divide it by 4. You're going to go from the center fold, the line you used to connect the two lines before, all the way outward to the length that your measurement is. Now we are going to measure how high we want the waist to be. You're going to go from your belly button down to your crotch area. You're going to mark this line down on the center fold from the waist and also on the hip measurement you just made. It's best to draw the line out so you can see what you're working with. From that line, you're going to measure about 7 centimeters upwards. This will help us with the incline for the crotch area later. Now you want to go back to the crotch line you just drew and measure about 3 centimeters or so outward. Connect this point to both the crotch line and the line above the crotch line that you just made. Now we're going to want to mark halfway on the sloped line we just made and connect it to the crotch line. And then halfway on that line, which you're going to connect to the end of the 3 centimeter line and the above line that you made above the crotch. You're going to mark about 3 centimeters inward on the waistline and then connect that point to the sloped line you just made. Now you're going to take your waist measurement and divide that by 4 also. You're going to go from the new point you just made on the waistline towards the center fold. The distance will be 1/4 of your waist measurement. And don't forget to mark that point out on your pattern. Now we're going to connect that point to the line above the crotch area on the center fold. Now we're going to go back to the side seam. You want to go about 1 or 2 centimeters downward on this part of the pattern and mark it out. Connect this new point to the innermost part of the pattern, also called the center fold. This line should be slightly curved. Now you're going to take your thigh measurement. This is going to be important so it fits your thighs nicely in the end. Now we're going to take half of that thigh measurement we just measured and put it down on the hemline and connect that point to the 3 centimeter line outward that we made on the crotch line. Now you're going to add your seam allowance all around the garment. That is going to be around 1 centimeter around the garment. You're going to add 1 to 2 centimeters of wiggle room for all of these measurements. Underneath at the hemline, you're going to add 4 centimeters worth of seam allowance. And now you cut out your pattern and label it. And now we're moving on to the back pattern. The back pattern is essentially the same, just a few key differences that I will point out to you as we go. Again, 1/4 of your hip measurement down on these 2 lines. The waist crotch separation, 7 centimeters up from the crotch line. Now we go back to the crotch line, and this time you're going to go outwards about 1/10 of your hip measurement. Connect that point again to both the crotch line and the line above that. Make a point halfway on that sloped line, connected to the crotch line, halfway on that point, connected to the end of that line, and the line above the crotch line. 3 centimeters inwards on the waistline, and then connect that to the slope we just made. This time we want to go 2 centimeters above the waistline. From that point, 1/4 of your waist measurement, which you will connect to the line above the crotch line. You will also connect it to the point above the waistline in a slope. Now you want to go from your waistline down to about 10 centimeters below your bum. You want to go back to your pattern and go from the waistline down to whatever measurement that was. From this point, you're going to go outwards about half or slightly more than half of your thigh measurement. Connect this point to the extra distance we gave the crotch area. And then go straight down from this point to the hemline. Now time for the 1 centimeter seam allowance all around except for the hem, which is going to be 4 centimeters of seam allowance. Cut your pattern out and label it. Just remember, for these pattern pieces, you're going to have to cut out 2 mirrored pieces from your fabric. For the pocket, you're going to cut out a rectangle that is 25 centimeters one way and 30 the other. Fold it along the length. Now you're going to want to go back to your front panel and place that rectangle under it. This is where you're going to draw an outline of the front panel on this so you can cut the excess. If you want an invisible side seam pocket, this is where you're going to leave the pattern. But if not, you're going to go down 10 centimeters from the waistline and about 8 centimeters in. Connect those 2 points in a sloped manner. But if you don't have a pattern master, just connect the points in a straight line and then go to the point downwards that you made and make a line outwards, a straight line down also from the other point you made on the waistline. Find the halfway point of that connecting line, connect it to where the perpendicular lines meet, find the midpoint of that line, connect it to both the 8 centimeter point and the 10 centimeter point in a slope. Add seam allowance above that line, cut that piece out. Take the rectangle again and mark out the outline of that missing part of the pattern. The bigger part of the pattern is going to be the lining and the smaller part is going to be for the leather or whatever fabric you're using. Add seam allowance on the leather part of the pattern and cut it out on both sides. I forgot to do that here, but it's both sides. And now you're done with your pattern.
So guys, that's it for the pattern for today. I hope you enjoyed making this pattern and I hope you make something so cool out of this, because this is very much a universal pattern. Of course, there are ways to alter it if you don't want the jean-esque sort of pattern, sort of pocket rather. Then you can totally change the pattern up. You can totally make it a slim fit if you wanted to. But this is it. This is the one pattern you will need for literally anything and the only one you'll ever need. So I'm so thankful that you joined me today on this video. Without further ado, please don't forget to like the video, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'm so excited for what's to come next. This journey that we're taking together is so exciting, and I feel everyone needs to know how to make their own clothes, because in this world nothing fits us, and I'm a model saying that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today. Bye! And that's his front pattern. You see? And that's his front pattern. You see how pretty? Yes. I hope you're still recording because I'm having so much fun here.
Pardon and draw in the pocket area. And you will have the pocket part.
Listen. Fethu, bheka. Inkunzi malanga ephakethe. Inkunzi malanga ungafaka ngisho ingane lana kule phakethe ngiyenzayo manje. Ngixoxele. So a huge pocket that we are making here, and you are welcome, girlies, because yeah. Just one so you look back. Second male lead syndrome. It's me and liking men that are so out of my league, child. I like to be delusional and say I am the lead. I like to be delusional and say I am the league, but I'm gonna be a little realistic sometimes anyway. To be showing you how to